street lights hit you all alone. You know it's dangerous to go alone. Don't let the street lights hit you. Can I be your player too? I'll follow wherever you go, whatever you do. Player too. If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly, then forever doesn't feel that far. So far, so far. If a paper crane can fly, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on, fly on.
And remember, you're listening to nothing but the bass.
Fatality D.
Mic check. Mic check. 1, 2, and 3. Akeem, I see you. Sling YT. Brown, I see you. Jessica, holding it down like 5,000 pounds. Appreciate you. Harold, I see you, fam. Appreciate you. Shout out to everybody that's watching. Kid, Roscoe. I see you, Lucas. Salute. Jason, appreciate you, fam. Holding it down. Steve, Jeremy, Crazy Corvette. Let's ride on into this thing.
This is Sparta!
For tuning in. Thank you all for being part of this show. My thing is, we're going to talk about the topics of Jerry Jones. We're going to talk about the topics of Stephen Jones, the son, John Stephen Jones, right? And let's pull out his whole name. I really appreciate everybody that stayed tuned with us on the late night hype / the play-by-play. It was wonderful seeing you all here. We had a great time. We didn't have a good time. We had a great time, right? Now, although the team is not winning, we have the spirit of winning, right? Me, Skywalker Still, and Big Game James, man, really appreciate those guys, my compatriots, man, that work with me. And this is just the realities of life. I want you guys to write this down. I said it earlier, I believe, when I was doing the review of the interview of Stephen Jones. I said, those who failed the plan to fail, right? And might want to write this down. It's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have the opportunity and not be prepared. Now, earlier this year, we talked about the aspect of where the strength of the team would be at. We talked about, hey, Jerry Jones came out and said the offensive line, for your mind, is the strength of this team. The offensive line. Let me repeat. The offensive line, the strength of this team. Well, Travis Frederick, he retired. I didn't think that they saw that coming. But at least they was able to draft somebody, Tyler Biadasz, right? So that was a calculated move. They went up and they traded up with the I want to say the Eagles, right? They traded up with them, and they got Tyler Biadasz. And I ain't talking about a dish, right? And the time that he was out there, he played pretty decent, right? Solid in a sense. Great move by the Joneses, right? We give him a cookie when it's rendering, right? We give him a cookie when it's wanted, basically. They get a cookie for that one. Because they said the strength of the offensive line is the team. So we already knew. It didn't take a genius. It didn't take a mad scientist to know that Tyron Smith was not going to be able to play 16 weeks. Let me repeat. It didn't take a mad scientist. It didn't take a genius. It didn't take Einstein crawling out of the grave. We knew. Ain't that right, Big Dread? Mr. Flyer. Draft time for your mind. Jessica holding it down. PVO Queen. Akeem. Hey, it didn't take a mad scientist to know that Tyron Smith was not going to play for 16 weeks, right? So we already should have been planning, right? So that maybe, just maybe, that's when they went out and said, okay, we're going to sign Cam Irvin. Cam, right? So maybe that's the plan, right? And Brandon Knight, we saw what he did last year. So we're going to talk about the scheme versus players, of course. Y'all know I love talking about these things with optics, right? But nevertheless, Tyron Smith, he went out. You know, he went out. Whoop-de-whoop, right? We didn't see that coming, right? All right, so moving to the right side of the field, we had La'el Collins. This was a crazy year, like Ripley's Believe It or Not. You know, this was a type of year that we had to play. Let me put my drop over here.
No, God! No, God,
this
please,
year.
No!
This was the type of year that everything. It started off, man, with other celebrities from other situations. Parrish died of crazy freak accidents, you know. It started with, and when we started to see that, hey, people thought it was a hoax, and it could be, it could not be, you know. One of those things where it's the area of ambiguity, right? The unknown, the unsurety, the unclearness, baffling of a type of situation. Like we really couldn't count our coins, right? We couldn't really plan the future. There's a song that says you can plan a picnic, but you cannot predict the weather type of groove, right? We couldn't know what was going to happen with this year 2020. The draft was crazy, right? But there's people that's in life that can crawl out of situations, prevail. There's people who store and save all of their hard earnings for the lean times. There's a certain scripture out there that says, this too shall pass. But it's not just for the good, nor is just for the bad. Because it's got the understanding that this too shall pass, right? But nevertheless, let me talk about the right tackle. I don't want to send you guys to church already. But this too shall pass. La'el Collins showed up out of shape at first. That was what was reported. He was out of shape. Let me know if I'm lying. Crazy Corvette, David Calloway. He showed up out of shape. And then he got into a car wreck, right? And then they said, well, he can't play no more for this year. He got to have surgery. We didn't see that, right? We couldn't account for that. Newsflash, yes, we could. Because the moment you said your strength is your offensive line, that should have been the time that when you saw that La'el Collins showed up kind of heavy, pick up that phone. Let's start making some things happen. Now, I'm not trying to bury the young Terrence Steele, but we all know with our natural mind that there was going to be some growing pains, extra growing pains for him, by the way. Undrafted rookie. You know, he still got that wet behind the ear. Poor planning. I was going to say the other word, but I don't want to take it there too quick. Those who fail the plan to fail, right? I digress. So we had to understand that was going to go on. And sometimes when you overcompensate for one thing, you favor something for another, that's when other things start trickulating. That's when other problems start sticking his weird, ugly head. It's got an ugly head. Start sticking his ugly head out and say, hey, I'm here too. You're late on your water bill. You're robbing Pete to pay Paul to get the water bill. You take from some other resources. Now you're late on your light bill. Now you realize that what you bought was too big for you to chew. It's just too big for you to take on. You see, the thing is, you can only placate and lie so long to kick it. You know, I know for sure when Mike McCarthy said, hey, I can do this because everybody wants the job, and I'm not finna sit here and say, okay, the dude was wrong for trying to get the job. He always say, hey, fake it until you what? Make it. So those who got interviews tomorrow and next week, fake it until you make it. Don't let them turn you down. Don't turn yourself down. Let them turn you down, right? You know, don't do the situation saying, you know, hey, you know, I lied on that part of the resume. Fake it until you make it. And say to yourself, this too shall pass, right? I'm going to learn from it. I'm ready to fight. I'm ready to roll this thing up. I'm ready to get out here and get this job. I'm going to put food on the table. Baby needs shoes. Wifey want a new dress. Daddy want the new Cadillac. Huh? Rue Glock says, boxing wise, yes. You know, it doesn't matter the size of the guy that you're going to fight. Right, Rue? You're going to show up and say, hey, you're going to get knocked out. Bigger you are, the harder you what, right? The harder you fall, right? That's what. When David slew Goliath, he had no chance, right? Yeah, it was no possibility. They even prepped him a little bit. Let me know if I'm lying. They prepped him. Boy, y'all didn't think y'all was going to get this type of message today, but you are. They prepped him. Hey, man, put this big old helmet on, fam. Hey, we got some shoulder pads for you. Huh? He tried it. He said, man, I can't move with it. It's too heavy. Get this stuff up off me. Let me go find me a rock. Not just any rock. Let me go find me a smooth rock. That's what the scripture contextualizes it. Let me go get me a smooth rock. And that smooth rock knocked Goliath on his butt. He had to go through the process. Everybody else was struggling. Everybody else was saying, hey, we got COVID. Oh man, we got the plague. We got the flies all over us. We can't stop this Goliath. All right, so what I'm going to do is Jay Glazer went on 105.3 The Fan. And when you're talking about hedging your bet, right? And when you're talking about not shooting yourself in the foot, you're going to say, nah, I'm right. I sent you Aldon Smith. I'm still thinking that Mike McCarthy is the guy. And Mike McCarthy apologists are already trying to build a wall of protection saying, hey, he had COVID. He had injuries. He had injuries. He had COVID. No OTAs, no training camp. It's not his fault. He's in a new environment. The lights are bright. He got multiple interviews. He got marketing meetings. They sound like a bevy of what? Excuses. And somebody said, hey, Mike McCarthy, hey, he's better than what Jimmy Johnson did his first year. And I said, man, Jimmy Johnson was a rookie. No experiences at all. The best player was on the team was Everson Walls. Of course, you could say that. And Ed Too Tall. The brother at the time was 40. Technically, he was 38, but you round that up. He was 40. Name me another person that's 40 playing on the defensive side of the ball. Ed Too Tall was out there in 19 of 89. Their best receiver, Michael Irvin, the playmaker, was out for the season. There's no comparison. No comparison. I will give Mike McCarthy the mulligan for this year. I will placate and say, hey, give him a mulligan. Let's listen in to 105.3 The Fan. Let me see if I can squeeze all the way up to the interview part. Here we go.
Right now, we bring to you Jay Glazer.
Jay Glazer.
Sir, welcome to the show.
Let me know if y'all can hear this okay. Give me a thumbs up before I go.
You saw the
Y'all can hear that okay? Let me know. Can y'all hear that? Let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Give me some type of emoji saying that, hey, Law, I can hear it.
game last night, so maybe not the best in the world. Do you have any players that you could ship over here that can stop the run?
I already sent one, and Aldon Smith. What else do you guys want from me?
Jay, I'm curious about that. With Aldon Smith, he's been a great story. Like him doing what he's done. Do you think he's realistically done everything or done enough to be re-signed by the Cowboys?
Listen, the fact that he's after almost 5 years, and that's what I told him also when he went down there. Man, this whole group, our MVP Foundation is one that he's working with to help him kind of build himself back up, from the inside out. We're like, man, we love Aldon Smith the person, not the player. So you have no sacks. It's incredible that you've done the work on yourself to build yourself back up into this person that people will take a chance on and can trust. So I think he's certainly done enough. I think, guys, the fact that he's out for 5 years, it's damn near unheard of. It's incredible. And for him to start and even have any sack, but, I think this next offseason will be important. And it was just, I tell you what, I've done a lot. I've been around this league a lot for a long time, and I've used my relationships, usually for scoops and things. But to be able to do this and help somebody out who, he came to my house when he signed his contract, and he called me and he says, your son there. My son Sammy there, because he worked out my son. We were quarantined together, me, him, and Luke Wilson, who he played against last night, and my son. He said, Sammy there. I said, yeah. He said, I want to come over and sign the contract in front of him so he can see what his dad's done.
Wow.
Well, that's good stuff.
That's different. And then when he did, he said, I don't think you understand what you've really done here. And I said, no, it's cool. And he goes, no. And he never told me this before. He said, I was living in transitional housing, basically homeless, a year ago here. And now I'm back in the NFL. And said, and the reason why we did it is because when he was working with our foundation, one day just really opened up to the crew. And he said to me also, he said, Jay, man, I'm not in the league because it's my fault I'm not in the league. It was me. And I never really felt worthy of being loved. I never liked Aldon Smith. And this is the first time I ever felt worthy of being loved. And if I ever had that opportunity back then, there's a lot of players and people I could help out. And I said, it's not too late. And he's like, yeah, it is. I'm like, no, it's not. I'm crazy, dude. Let's go. Let's go walk together. And, obviously we did. And, man, I'm just proud of him. And what you guys don't know behind the scenes, and I know I'm here, doing something for USAA, for the military with, Army Navy this week. But Aldon, and this is why we put together our former combat vets and our former pro athletes to give a new team again. Aldon does constant welfare checks on our veterans that he's really close with. He got really close with a lot of our vets.
That's good stuff.
And our veterans check up on him constantly. And that's the beauty of what we do, trying to give these guys a new team again. But could you ever imagine, you're a veteran. We have one in particular named Yves who got blown up in Iraq, and he was a huge 49er fan. And when he was trying to recover, he got hit by a roadside bomb. When he was trying to recover, it was watching the 49ers with what he was so, he looked forward to it so much, and lifting him up, and he loved Aldon. And then all of a sudden, one day, Aldon comes walking in MVP, and this guy's like, oh, my God. And he ends up giving him his Purple Heart for helping him through his time.
That's a wonderful story, man. What I picked up from that story is he had a lot of doubt within himself, right? He said, like, look, there's no possible way that I can get back into the league. And Jay Glazer and his son, kind of worked with him with his program and elevated that kid to just reshape his mind, right? I always tell everybody, the battle is within the mind. It's within the mind. The battle is within the mind. And man, if your mind is intact, man, you can conquer everything. Of course, your heart is there, but that mind is something crazy. So that's a good story. As good as that story is, it's a good story. That's all it is now. You don't win Super Bowls with the stories. Now, I'm not being evil law over here and saying, okay, yeah, you did. It's a great story, Aldon. Now it's time for you to go. I'm not saying that. I don't want you guys to look at me in that light. But what I'm saying is a wonderful story. It's a wonderful chance. It also shows that you never know who looks up to you. You never know who's watching you. You never know who you inspire and you motivate and you lift. You see, he was down in a low place. And see, Jay Glazer saw something that he couldn't see, right? Potentials. Shout out to Jay Glazer. He's a wonderful guy that's behind the scenes, get to all of the scoops and stuff like that. One can argue that, hey, if it wasn't for his network, then Aldon Smith probably would still be on the streets, still doing other things, right? Right? So life is always cycling, but it's also always fulfilling when you find your purpose, right? So by Aldon Smith is able to do what he is able to do, man, he gave a veteran hope. And that's one of the strongest substances on this earth, to have hope. They say you can't live a second or an inch of a second without that hope. Todd, back at it again. A donation for the nation. Show my appreciation without hesitations, baby. Appreciate you, Todd. Let's listen to more what Jay have to say, right?
Really proud, man.
Very cool story about Aldon Smith, about his involvement with all these different causes, and about how, it's definitely been documented. And you were just mentioning how Aldon Smith made his way to the Cowboys. I am curious because rumor and innuendo runs wild. Did you have any hand in getting Mike McCarthy here to Dallas?
There's a lot of teams that I talk to about a lot of guys, and we go over things. I still think Mike is the right guy there. I really do. It's just the problem in Dallas and a lot of these other places, it's so hard to build a culture in 3 weeks is what, he's had to do. And especially in 3 weeks and you lose half the team. It's so hard. This has just been a different year. And Dallas is different than any other place. There's more attention than any other place. It's like, man, it's like every player on that team gets more attention than the center fielder from the Yankees.
Y'all smell that? I smell excuses, man. Y'all smell that? Yeah, I mean, good Lord, y'all can smell that excuse. Dallas is an attention magnet. You got to be a certain type of person to play here or to coach here. Of course, I mean that's part of the cookie, right? That's part of the sweetness. That's part of the nectar. You can't go out there and date a top 10 model and get mad when people are looking at her. You got to have that jazz. You got to have that swag, right? You got to know that, hey, I got the best piece in the office, right? Man, everybody looking at my lady. Well, hey, appreciate that. Oh, I'm riding in a Bugatti, right? When I'm at the red light, everybody's stopping and looking. It's a foreign car. It's not a Mazda. It's not a Prius. Don't nobody, when they pull up to the light and they say, man, dog, look at that Prius, dog. That man, nice. Woo. I can't handle the pressure driving the Prius. No, it don't work that way. Because when Mike McCarthy knew when he went down here in Dallas, he should have been sweating because he'd be looking around saying, man, I can't slip right here. I can't stumble right here. They look, who, like in the chat box, man, who been down there in the Star in Frisco? I'm talking about the place is plush. They got the field right before you enter in. They got a workout facility. They got the store shop over there. Places where you can go eat till your belly pop, right? Don't wear a button down because they got some good food over there. Oh my goodness. Go to the Star in Frisco and just walk around. Can't pull your phone out though. They just jump out of nowhere and say, hey, put that phone down. Don't be taking no pictures now when you're going through the tour. It's nice. They don't have that everywhere. They don't have that everywhere. And that is just one location. When you go down there to Arlington, it's a rocky road, but when you get there, you're looking around. The first thing you're going to do is look up. That's how big the place, it speaks to you. It lets you know that I'm daddy. A lot of people can placate and say, yeah, I can do this and I can do that. But baby, when you get out there on the stage, you fold up like a wallet. That's all I'm saying. Sometimes the Omni of the Star, yeah, the Omni is nice. And when you get that special access, get all the way up to the top. Got a pool there. It's nice. It's beautiful.
Or the center for the Lakers. It's crazy. And so it's just a different place. I do think they kind of needed a guy who's like a grunt in there. But it's just so hard to build what you're trying to build in a place like that when you only get in front of these guys for 3 weeks, and then one by one they all go down.
Has that been then like the biggest problem for McCarthy? Is the injuries or the fact that they didn't have a training camp?
I think both. I think injuries. I mean, you lose your starting quarterback. I still think Dak is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. He doesn't get enough credit at all. And you saw how he was playing in this offense, under Mike and Kellen while he was in there. With the defense, it was giving you troubles, but man, they were starting to. Dak was doing some special things, but this line when they were really playing well last couple of years, with his offensive line was really the strength of his team. They've lost. I mean, it's like they've lost 42 offensive linemen this year. So it's really difficult to get something going when that's that. And early on, you knew, when Tyron went down, you're like, oh no, this is gonna be hard because he is a difference maker.
All right, okay. We lost all tackles. We lost our tackles. That's what we lost. One can already say that we already had a Band-Aid on one. Tyron Smith, you could have already forecast and budgeted to say, okay, he's not going to play 16 weeks. Everybody else was there, minus Lyle Collins. That's what we did. We lost our tackle. That's what happened. Oh, Looney was there. Was he the starter? Was he there in 18? Yes. What was the record in 18? 10-6. Oh, was Zach Martin there? Yes. What round was Zach Martin drafted in? First. Okay, he was there. Right? Or, can I bring up this fact that you got Connor Williams? Was he there? Yes. All you got to do is say yes. Your offensive linemen were there. They were there. But when you're looking for excuses, you're going to find them. That's how the name of the game goes. I got an interview. They paying 6 figures. Why are you 15 to 20 minutes late? Oh, you see what had happened was next person, that's life. But hey, I had a flat and it was raining and I got lost. You You show up on time, you're still late. That's the rudiments of life. Life will punch you in your jaw, punch you in your chest. Life is just like that lion out there in the Serengeti. You think that lion gonna ask the gazelle, hey, it's raining today. Can I just have a little bite of the ass? Just a little piece of it? No, he got to go out there and hunt. If he don't go out there and hunt, he don't eat. That is the reality. Huh? So, okay. We lost the offensive linemen. Okay. The tackles. Oh, it's a new environment. Don't y'all know that the Washington team coach was going through cancer? Was Mike McCarthy going through cancer? Huh? Did they lose in Washington? Did they lose their quarterback, their starting quarterback? Did they lose their starting running back as well? Don't they have a bevy of excuses that they did not have OTAs in training camp? What's their record? Oh, the Giants. Don't they going through the same scenario and situations and hesitations of the COVID, the OTAs, no training camp? People, when you look for excuses, you will find them. It will come. It will come running to you. It will show up to your door, and it will say, "Hey, here I am. Use me. Use me." But when you mathematically articulate, plan it out, put everything in order, put places and things, like I said earlier in my previous video, you can have the beautiful chessboard right in front of your face. It don't play itself. Just because you bought it doesn't mean that you know how to play it. Let's listen to more what they have to say.
And obviously your center retiring, and then just the number of injuries that went down there. Honestly, I don't know if I've ever seen anything like it.
Jay Glazer joining us here on the KNC Masterpiece on 105.3 The Fan. I'm kind of curious. We heard Jimmy Johnson say last night, my co-host here has had a hard time understanding what Jimmy was trying to angle at. But Jimmy said, go ahead and sign Dak to the long-term contract,
right,
not a franchise tag, but also invest in the first-round pick. Can you help my co-host kind of understand what Jimmy was trying to get to there?
Well, I can't help you understand what Jimmy's trying to say.
Yes.
Hey, I think not the time frame got to Jimmy, man, with the salary cap stuff. He was saying go ahead and pay Dak Prescott to the 5-year contract, whatever it may be, right? And then turn back around and grab you the quarterback in the first round. That ain't gonna work that way. You're gonna have money falling out of the sky for that to happen. Because even I think that even Joe Burrow signed a $40 million contract this year. You know, so I think it's going to be even north of that, whoever is drafted in the first round this year, as far as the quarterbacks or what have you, just off of GP. So the ideology is cool. I'm not dogging Jimmy Johnson with the ideology of, hey, you draft a quarterback, what have you. But not right. but let's listen to more what they have to say. I haven't heard the interview up to this point, so bear with me.
We got 6 of us on the show and 17 personalities between us, and me and Bradshaw got like 12 of them though between our years. But I think what Jimmy's trying to say is to get the best possible available talent because he's done it best. He did Troy and Steve Walsh, and then he was able to parlay that and use that and trade that for something even bigger and better. But also you see, quarterback play in this league is, man, your backup quarterback better be a stud. And because when you lose your starting quarterback, life in this league is terrible. It's really difficult. So I think Jimmy's trying to say you load up in that area, but then also it gives you more opportunities to maybe parlay that to something bigger.
You broke the news before the game yesterday that Dez had tested positive for COVID. Have you had the chance to talk with him at all, and how has he dealt with all of it? I saw on Twitter.
Well, let me put my conspiracy hat back on. he broke the news. Jay Glazer broke the news before everybody, right? Jay Glazer, in return, before that news, many a months ago, broke the news that Mike McCarthy is coming to Dallas. Jay Glazer, before many a months ago, broke the news that, we working out with Aldon Smith, for teams are interested in him. Kind of funny to me, right? Jay Glazer, man, he got some of that reach. I'm talking about Stretch Armstrong reach. That brother, he already know what the stock market is going to hit tomorrow, right? Hey, man, he's one of those guys, man. He got that third eye, right? The Illuminati. He got all of that stuff on him, right? That brother can see into the future. Or he's an inside of the insider, right? You get what I'm saying? Now, I haven't heard this point, and you guys already know when I talk about the Dez Bryant situation, like COVID all of a sudden got selective properties, right? But let's listen to what he had to say.
Or how it seemed like he was feeling. What do you know?
No, I haven't spoken to him, but, at first I'd gotten word 30 minutes beforehand that his test was inconclusive. So I'm like, wait, what is going on? And listen, when you're covering a game as an insider and you're trying to break news, but most of your people are on the field, they don't have cell phones, that's hard. So, and for me also, I don't like to just – I have a three-source rule. I won't go with something unless I get three sources because I don't care about being first as much as I care about being right. So I had to sit there for a half hour and be like, oh, my God, knowing also we have our big feature for the game is on Dez Bryant. So I tell our producer, I tell Gonzalez, who did the sit down with him. I tell Howie Long and Kurt Menefee, and then for 30 minutes, like, what's happening? I'm like, all right, I just got them. They're retesting them. So they took them back off, and they retest them. Then you got to wait 15 minutes and to find out what it was. Because if it's negative, no problem. He's right back out there in the game and do our feature. And obviously, our control room, our producer, Bill Richards, like, what do you hear? I'm like, I'm trying, dude. It's hard. There's not as many cell phones to text, when they're out there on the sideline.
Oh, the audio bad. Yeah, it's very fishy to me. It's very fishy. Inconclusive testing or what have you for 30 minutes. Like, if you're not sure of something, right? The NFL, it's not even a $1,000 business, right? It's not even $1 million business. This is a put the M in there, multi-billion-dollar business with the B, right? $1 billion. So if the tests come back diluted, inconclusive, flawed, or whatever you might want to call it, you don't let Dez Bryant go out there and ingratiate himself and ruminate and be all around people out there on the field with the warm-ups and stuff, right? Because 30 minutes way before that time frame, before the kickoff, he was out there with the cameraman. Hell, I saw him out there with Tupac and Biggie, man. I saw him out there with everybody. Mama, uncle, cousin, Pookie, Ray Ray, Ashaniqua. He was out there. That's negligence on the NFL. And if anybody come up with the COVID, I will be trying to, with all of my paperwork in hand, saying, I may not make another day as it relates, especially if you're one of those low-end players, got one of those boo-boo salaries. Hey, I got COVID, I'm suing. It's crazy because you guys got negligence. It's crazy how we look at this thing. Draft time for your mind says coach for the I want to say the Browns, 9-3. Chubb, Garrett, Greedy got hurt, lost Grant Delpit, and also lost Odell Beckham for the season. No excuses for Mike McCarthy. And he was a new coach, right? Is that coach down there in the Browns land, is he a new coach or he been there for a couple of minutes, right? That's a sarcastic question for those who don't know. It's crazy, huh? I'm telling people right now that if you're looking for excuses, it have no problems finding you. You can say, hey, the reason why I'm making a certain income for what I'm making is because I grew up in a certain side of the city, right? Or the reason why I'm going to this particular school is because I scored such and such on the test to get in. You can find evidence you want. Jim Swartz says Alshon really fell off. Yeah, I feel you on that. Paul let me see what you said over here. I love to do the Q&As right here. It's like they were toying with Dez because they knew how meaningful this game was for him. Yeah, that's the craziest thing, right? Yeah, that's the craziest thing. Because Dez is the type of person that builds up that emotions before the game, builds up that amp. It have been many a times, right? You guys remember every time Dez Bryant played for the Cowboys against the Eagles, he was out there jawing, going at it. What's that safety name? He used to go back and forth with him all the times over there in Eagles land. They got rid of him this year. He went to the Saints. What's his name? He used to go back and forth with him. It used to be like customary. Like, hey, I'm going to get on the field. I'm going to find me an Eagles guy, and I'm going to go back and forth with him. Jenkins, yeah, appreciate you. Money making Maul. We used to wait for the pregame, and we'd be like, man, what day is that? If he ain't drawing at the Eagles guys, boy, he ain't on point today, right? And that's what he do. He builds his emotions up. He builds up Malcolm Jenkins for the corrections for his full name. Appreciate y'all, man, Fletcher and beyond. Thank y'all. Man, he used to get up there and be like, yeah. And without a shadow of a doubt, he wanted to do the same thing to these Cowboys out there. He wanted to get in Joy Lewis's face. He wanted to tell Cheeto Woozier, you ain't worth it, right? Wearing that 24. He wanted to go over there to Darian Thompson and say, hey, bang 8 route. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he wanted to just talk so much noise to his guys, Jalen Smith and all of those guys on the defensive side. Josh Norman, too. Oh, yeah, Gary. Yeah. The Jackrabbit. Yeah, that Jackrabbit series, man. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. The Jackrabbit won in 2016. That was the only time he won now. That Jackrabbit, that's the only time he won. That doggone Jackrabbit. And it was because of the quarterback was fresh. He was still new. And I think that he was still trying to work out his pizzazz as relates to getting the ball over to Dez. Somebody can say, yeah, no, he won in 17. But no, I think that after that year, I think that the Dallas Cowboys kind of got on to what he was doing. But the Jackrabbit was pretty cool. He was a good foe. Josh Norman, if I was to rank them, the good guys that was versus Dez Bryant, I think D'Angelo Hall was a good battle of Dez Bryant. Then there was the Jackrabbit, and then there was Josh Norman. As my dog, Big Game James, would say, Josh Normal. You know how I can get my voice that high. But you know what I'm talking about, right? And then there was Malcolm Jenkins. Akeem Smith says Darian Thompson. I got to say the whole name. Got a pick, laugh out loud. He got a freebie. He could have had two. Darius Slay. I ain't going to talk about that one, Chase.
Unfortunately, the confirmation was not what I wanted because you don't want Dev to have COVID. So they pulled him off the field and, immediately and sent him home. And he was emotional because of, I think he was just trying to prove also even to Dallas, look who I am. And I think he was going to be featured a lot in that game. So I think,
he was.
It was hard for him. He got very emotional, but eventually, after he said he's going to have some wine and coke, he's going to he calmed down a little bit. So he must have some good Caymans.
That wine for your mind.
Who's a more fun person to star next to Terry Bradshaw or The Rock?
The Rock.
Oh, my God. Well, Bradshaw's
they talk about some other stuff now. But Cowboy Nation, I really appreciate you all for tuning in to the nation. Don't forget to hit that like, share, and comment down below. Let's continue to keep the interaction there. I think that somebody asked me, Ronnie says, what is your take on Jalen Smith being friendly with Lamar Jackson during the game? That's the new school stuff. When I played against you, you are my enemy. You are the worst thing to me. I don't, and I'm old. I'm an older guy, so I'm 37 years old, of course. I look at it like, hey, you are my enemy. I look at it like this. I don't want nothing from you. I don't want to shake your hand. When I knock you down, I don't want to help you up. I don't want to even look at you in a sense of I feel any type of compassion. I feel like you're going to have any gleam of hope because my whole mission is to destroy you, to assassinate your mindset, And what Jalen does is he's a happy-go-lucky guy. I can't fault him at that. That's just his ore. That's what brings him, you know. That what made him the richest guy ever in his family, probably, right? And he's there through from the mindset, hey, God had blessed me with a second chance to life on the national football level. But he don't take it like we take it. Because I'm for dog sure I hate losing, and I will be mad and angry and upset. So the Ray Lewises of the world, he don't have not even an inch of Ray Lewis tenacity. Because Ray Lewis, he would try to kill you out there on the field. Now, there was one guy that was really nice to people out there back in the days. Old Reggie. For those who follow the Eagles, y'all know. Y'all Eagles, y'all know y'all missed him when he went over the Green Bay line. But Reggie would knock you on the ground and say a prayer and give you the benediction at the same time. Reggie, y'all remember? Whoo-wee. Reggie wouldn't fold you up like a wallet and say, I'm praying for your grandma. Then he come again, I'm praying for your daddy. I'm praying for your kids. All within the same confines of the game. Sean Lee looked lost. Sean Lee, it's over for him, man. The brother is running literally in slow motion, quicksand. Oh, and I seen some people ask me, hey, Law, what are your thoughts on LVE? Boy, the brother is lost. Yeah. R.I.P. to Reggie White. Yeah. R.I.P. to him. Charles Haley. Ooh, different type of animal. Charles Haley is like that now, Akeem. Charles Haley is one of those guys that will still hit you when he greets you. He one of those guys that will put his hands on your shoulders and slap down on you. You're like, hey, man, come on, man. And then he'll say, hey, you getting soft. He's one of those guys. Have you ever met somebody like that? Whenever you meet them, they always punching on you, hitting on you, saying, hey, man, you getting soft, man. And close your ears, getting soft, man. Stop playing with yourself. He's one of those uncles, man. Quit, stop playing with yourself, man. You're getting soft, man. You got to go hit the weights. Yeah. Let me know if y'all got somebody like that. The old school, always hitting you, always punching on you. And you want to say something back when you can't, because you want to respect them a little bit, Yes, indeed. Reggie White was a beast until he met Eric Williams. Oh, yeah, Eric Williams, boy. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. We all got one of those. Yeah. Rest in peace to Sean Taylor, yeah. Yeah, that guy, he played through the echoes of the world. So they was like, dog, this Pro Bowl, man, you were supposed to hit like that, Yeah, so, I mean, maybe, just maybe, my only thing is right now, when you head into the draft part of the conversation, you would say, man, hopefully we can find that dog. You find that guy. It could be the guy. Maybe it'd be a Paris Ford, right? Somebody to come down and crack. But I don't think the Cowboys would go that angle, Maybe it'd be a Javon Holland. Yeah, I like that kid skill set. Or the Trayvon kid from TCU. T.A., Darren Woodson. Woody, see, a lot of people look at Darren Woodson as of now. But Woody, he was later would. And he had that mindset, a mean streak. Still show you all of his teeth. The same thing like player mentality, personnel, like the personality, mentality and personality. You would say that DeMarcus Ware, mean as a rattlesnake out there on the field, but will smile and show you all of those 32 teeth. He would just smile, and every time he sacked, he would pound the ground. Boy, those was good days for the Cowboys. We wish we can get a guy to have 15 to 16 sacks. Boy, we'd probably build a statue and put him right beside Sky Mirror, right? We wish we had a guy to give us 4 to 5 INTs a year. Yeah, Jason says, Troy Palamamu Yeah, he was that guy. He was that dude. Truth about D Ware, yeah. Yeah, D Ware, if you look at him to this day, he look like he can still give you the business out there. Like, take that shoulder and get up in there. I was so angry and upset when I saw D Ware working one-on-one with Aaron Donald. And I'm sitting there like, with all of the resources we have right here in Dallas, why are all guys not going to see D Ware? Why DeMarcus Lawrence ain't going over there saying, hey, D-Ware, let's just spend a whole summer together. You know, I know you're married, I'm married. I know COVID is going on. I seen you build your new facility. Look, I just want to just live with you this summer. I wish that we had those guys to have that mentality. They should do it right now. They all in the same area, you know. South Lake. DeMarcus Ware is right there in South Lake. You can just go drive over there to DeMarcus Lawrence and Randy Gregory. They probably say, hey, Randy, why don't you put that out a little bit, man? It's kind of strong, man. Put that out, man. Come on in here, man. Come on in here. Let me show you some of these techniques. All of those guys. Somebody need to kidnap DeMarcus Ware. I'm just jokingly, because I know how sensitive this PC culture is. But somebody jokingly saying, I'm joking. Somebody need to kidnap him and say, hey, man, you're going to be at the store, and we're gonna have this session. Until all of them get 10 sacks minimum. That should be the minimum. 10 sacks minimum from Randy Gregory and DeMarcus Lawrence. Right? Russell Maryland was that. Oh man, Russell Maryland was a silent assassin as well. I follow him on social media. D-Ware, yeah, he do look like a beast, Jason. Yes, indeed, he is that. He still is that beast. Get up and run miles and stuff. I'm like, man, dog, he looking like a tight end now, though. Randy White would teach our guys the head slap if they still is able to do it. Yeah, they ain't able to do that head slap no more, but I feel you, though. Yeah, these guys got to want it. They got to want it more than what us fans want. And I'm not saying that the DeMarcus Lawrence don't want it, right? Because he was one of those guys that was teetering, right? He was one of those guys saying, hey, you know, with this crazy weather as it relates to the COVID, you know, weather physically, you know, metaphysically speaking there, this, you know, figurative speech, I meant to say, is weather, figurative speech, as I wanted to say, that's what the word is I want to say, figurative speech of the weather of the COVID. I don't want to put myself at risk like that. I don't want to put myself at harm. You know, my wife finna have a newborn, and I don't know the parameters of it, right? Law, what do you think D-Ware new Dallas DC? Nah, I mean, here's the thing. I love D-Ware as a positional guy, as a skill guy, but I don't think that he's going to be a guy to be a whole defensive coordinator, because you still have to go through some growing pains. There still be some new things that you have to interact with, things that we don't even know that, you know, could cause some time to go through some growing pains. One can argue and say, well, hell, look at Mike Nolan. That's enough growing pains there, right? That's enough growing pains right there with this new situation. All right, so I've been live for an hour, and what I like to do in this time frame is I'm going to turn on the phone for a couple of minutes here and get your thoughts of the show, get your thoughts of everything that I discussed and went over. And feel free to put your opinion, your thoughts out there. Give me a few seconds while I set this up. Give me a few seconds. It should be set up in a few here. Let's listen to this right quick.
Crazier by far.
Yeah, give me a few seconds here. I'm going to close this out, and we'll open up the lines for your mind. Let me get Jerry on the field right there. There you go. Now, that face that you see there, that's on him. That's not us doing it. That's him doing it, right? That's him doing it. Let's put some music on right quickly. Come on. Let's go. Phone line 682-214-4087. The hotline for your mind. It's pinned at the top. All right, we're going to have the first caller in to 202. 202, you're live. 202, you're live. Talk to us.
What's up, Lord? This is Chris Blunt again.
Chris, man, what's good, man? Talk to the nation.
I'm just going to say this. You know how with D-Law, if you watch every game, he only showed up in games after he talked a lot of trash beforehand or online. It wasn't with him. It's like every game he doesn't show up. You can see some games you only hear his name called, or you don't even see nothing that he does. So it's like he got paid, so now it's like he plays like he's full. Like, oh, I got paid already. I don't need to show nothing because Jerry already gave me my money. So it's like, and then it's like with me now, when people come about, oh, it's draft time, let's talk about draft. It's hard to even talk about draft because it's like, the organization needs to clean out some things before they even can look to add some real dogs to that inconsistent to that organization. I don't want to add no hungry dog to a field of puppies because it ain't gonna work that way. And it seems like that team still has a lot of people, coaches and players, that need to go. Sean Lee is one of them.
Yes.
Injury prone. Sean Lee is injury prone. Every season, you can't say, all right, Sean Lee's in. You can name maybe a season where he played majority of the season, but you can name a whole lot of seasons where he was injured.
Man, you speaking nothing but the truth. Your best ability is your availability. And I know we coddle players, we love players, but that's more so coming from the front office because they want to say, hey, I'm right. That's what they want to say. And that's the issue.
And then with the Leighton Vander Esch, it's like we expected so much. Remember, he got drafted first. We expected so much from him, but then it's like he got injured, he came back, and then it's like he even plays like he lost. Jalen Smith plays, he tries. Best thing he done so far is that interception. Like he'll cause a little bit of chaos, but that's it. Like guys that we need on our defense are ones that will make the offense on the other side scared. And we don't got no players like that. You ain't got no defense that will make the offense scared. Like, not no players on our team. Like, you will have someone like, oh, like we need a safety or a cornerback, whereas the quarterback would think twice before throwing his way. We ain't got that.
Man, you're speaking the truth, bro.
We ain't got no defense that the running back would say, oh, I don't want to run up the middle. I'm going to run to the side, or I'm going to run to the right or the left because I know they're going to pop me or put me on my ass. Nah, we ain't got that.
Yeah, that's that time. But, man, Chris, man, you put all that good stuff out there, man. I really appreciate you for calling in, brother.
No problem.
That's a good call from him, man. Good call from him. Hey, I didn't think he would come with all that fire like that. Bro, that was a good call from him, man. Shout out to the 202, Chris, man. Good point, great point. That's our issue. We can put in new people all the time, but you still have those issues there. Let me see the 202, another 202. You're live. Come talk to me.
Hey, what's up, D-Law?
Nothing to it, man. Talk to the nation. You're live like 95.
Man, look, I'm a Washington D.C. #1 Dallas Cowboy fan. I get havoc up here, but man, to get right to the point, I'm a ex-football coach, man, and you can't the players that's on the field right now, and I'm talking defensively, the scheme does not work because you have a 4-3 defense. And you have 4-3 personnel, but you running a 34 defense. So you handicapping your pass rushes. And then you expecting your pass rushers actually they become D tackles because they're covered up. We definitely need a strong safety, and you need players with character. But I do agree with the last caller. You got to get some of that garbage out before you can bring the dogs in, because gangsters run with gangsters. Other than that, you sitting on the porch.
My goodness, man, you preaching over there, and you know how one thing they say, one bad apple will spoil a bunch, you know. And you don't mix old wine with new wine. You know, that's even scripture talking. You know, I don't want to go all the way there on how Jesus broke that down, right? So you got to cut out the old stuff and bring forth the new stuff. And my thing is, we got people with strong personalities. Like Antoine Woods, he got a strong personality, but he's a spare. DeMarcus Lawrence, he got a strong personality, but he don't have the results. Everyone have a reason, but results are what matter. And I know the pro football grades are going to be great, but he don't have. He can't walk around with the big chest, basically.
Nope.
And nobody in the secondary right now.
Exactly. I totally agree there. Nobody in the secondary. We need two safeties. Somebody that's going to come up and knock the crap out of you, because that bull crap I saw last night when it was like 3rd and 10. And Lamar Jackson took off, and our safety came up and chopped his feet instead of just running right through Lamar Jackson or forcing them out of bounds, which would allow them to punt the ball, and they wouldn't have went up by 14.
Yeah, true that. And let me put this out here, Coach. There's two situations that they have to take a look at. Maybe, just maybe, you don't want to sully the waters with Diggs and the Wilson kid in the secondary. But go ahead. I'll give you some more seconds here.
Well, I feel like Diggs got thrown in the fire, but he did show a lot of effort, and you're gonna get that out of a Alabama kid, you know. And I'm not saying it just because he's from here in DC. So getting another cornerback, that would help. Again, we need two safeties, but if you get two D tackles that can stop the run, and I believe we do have quality pass rushers in Aldon Smith and Randy Gregory and DeMarcus Lawrence. The front four will help your back four a whole hell of a lot, and we need to switch back to the 4-3, and we'll be fine. And get rid of Mike Nolan. We can't stop a cold man.
No doubt, Coach, man. I really appreciate you for calling in from the 202, man. Salute to you, bro. I'm gonna give you a war chant.
Man, salute, man, and love your channel, dog. Love your channel.
Thank you so much for that. Appreciate you.
This is Sparta!
Oh my goodness! They killing them twice. Back to back great calls, man. Who gonna pony up and give me another good one, man? Coach dropped some good dimes out there. It's okay. It's okay to have somebody that can really be good in the draft. But like you say, you don't want to mix the dogs with the puppies, right? And the puppies with the dogs, however that saying goes. But that was a great saying. But you got to look at this day, Cowboy Nation, and we got to figure this out. So we got the 585. 585, you're live.
Yeah, what's going on, Law?
Nothing to it, man. It's your world.
I can dig it. Yeah, man, this Tyreek, man, from Rochester, New York. Yeah, I'm a big Cowboy fan. I've been a big Cowboy fan for a long time. My only thing is with the Cowboys, we don't have any culture. There's too Hollywood in there, and what I'm not respecting is the ownership, the leadership of the team, and it's too glamorous. And then it seems like anytime that somebody, a coach or something, tries to come in there and lay the law down, Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones is getting in their way. They're not letting them do their job. And Jerry would be, well, he is, the Al Davis of football,
Right.
But he doesn't know how to let the proper channels go through, far as getting the right GM in there and letting that man do his job and do what they got to do for the team. And he just be on the marketing part, getting the money. You know what I mean? I feel like with us as fans, I feel like we kind of enabling Jerry Jones and Stephen Jones and the team because we love them so much, we love the team so much, and we want to see our team do good and get some of these rings. But it's like, if they're not going to do right by us, why should we keep doing right by them by supporting them, buying their merchandise and spending all this money and putting all this time into them if they're not trying to change the culture back up, like get back to their winning ways. You know what I mean? I really believe I'm like Big Game James a little bit. I feel like that. I feel like we cursed. You know what I mean? I feel like ever since they didn't put Jerry and bury the hatchet with Jimmy Johnson, we haven't went anywhere. You know what I mean?
Let me exercise on it, and I'll pause the time for you. The thing is with the cursing, my thing is, I know a lot of people don't believe in that, but karma is a real thing. Regardless of how anybody kind of chop it up, that's a real booger bear. When you do wrong, that energy of the earth somehow shape and form a way to get it back right at you. You reap what you sow, And my thing is with the Joneses, just like the start of the year, what have you, I understand the Rooney Rule. I'm not a big fan of the affirmative action and stuff like that. I'm one of those brothers that I'm not going to be over here saying, hey, interview me, or get me the job for the tokenism. No, I'm not part of that. I'm not part of that tribe. Give me for what I know up in my mental, And on top of that, if the opportunity is not there, I'm going to break down the wall to get inside of it, right? But for the start of the season, for them to just placate this thing out and say, okay, Marvin Lewis, we're going to interview you just to solidify the Rooney Rule and get out the way because it's not genuine, and you bring in Mike McCarthy without going through the list, doing your due diligence or going through everybody, don't you know that that's part of the karma, If they would have went out there and interviewed multiple people, then I would say, okay, Mike McCarthy was the best, but he wasn't. That's all I'm saying on that one.
I can understand that because my whole thing is, how can you say that you got Jason Garrett all the way out of this organization, but you still got Jason Garrett, people that are on Jason Garrett's staff, as far as Kellen Moore. I like Kellen Moore a little bit, but that college stuff he's running, it ain't fooling nobody.
Right.
It's looking like Jason Garrett all over again, but it's college. Like, I'm not feeling that. That's what I'm not feeling. And I feel like Mike McCarthy's hands kind of tied as far as him really picking his whole staff. You know what I mean? You kind of see it a little bit because I can tell the difference from McCarthy when he was in Green Bay, when they went to the Super Bowl, and McCarthy now. He looked docile now. You know what I'm saying? When I still remember that one play, and I'm gonna get up off this line. I still remember that one play when they was playing against the Steelers in the Super Bowl, and I guess they called it timeout or something. And their defense was on the field, and him and Clay Matthews talked. He told Clay Matthews, "Get me that football. I want the football back." And Clay went out there and got that football, and they won that Super Bowl. I don't see that same fire in him. You know what I'm saying? Because what told me that is this past game is when that roughing the passer call should have been called, and that pass interference on Lamb. It was simultaneously in the same play. I felt like he should have took his hands up and threw his clipboard on the ground and been ready to throw hands with the referee, man.
No doubt, man.
The culture is broken, man. But I
appreciate you, man, from the 585, man. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for calling in, though, brother. Good call from him, man. Good call from him from the 585. Call back if you want to get back in. But, man, that was good call, man. 3 good calls in a row, baby. We keep it going. 682-214-4087 is the hotline for your mind. Hey, my thing is, he's spitting the truth. I mean, he's spitting so much truth, I had to pull out the umbrella, man. and that's the reality of it. This team, we're gonna have to fix a few things, and he's spitting out all of the things that we need to improve on. All right, so we got the 903, you're live.
Hey, Law, I just wanted to call and say, well, Law, if people would step up and do their part, then we wouldn't have that problem.
Amen.
But like I say, TVO and those young cats got to get up and do what they got to do. But you got to also look at, they had General Lee, they had Tank, they had Randy Gregory, they had LV. Everybody was in their spot. But you got to look at those that are not in their spot. They got those same people out there working by themselves when they need to add some more men out there. And when they add those men and bring them up from that roster, from sitting on that bench, baby, that's you supposed to be like a pet bull. When they release you, go for what you know. You don't worry about the next man or whatever. Go do your job. Go do your job. Step up and do your job. Ain't no use nobody giving up and wanting to talk about fire Mr. McCarthy. You stuck with old Clapper for 10 years.
Right.
So come on. Get over it, as you said last night. And just like you were saying a while ago and the other brothers that was talking. You know what I'm saying? You got to step up and do your job. You got to step up and do your part. Everybody want to talk about draft. Everybody want to talk about tanking. Ain't no tanking going on. We still got football to go on. If we didn't have no Cowboy football, y'all still be complaining about we need football. We need this. We need that.
Right.
Just shut up the complaining, man. Yes, we lost. Move on. We got another game to worry about Sunday. We got to look at the fact we lost our general, Dak. You got to look at all the, like you said, all the starters we got. Yes, ain't making up no excuse, but you got to realize those boys didn't have time to breathe last night. 3 field goals, as I told you, 3 missed field goals. Come on, bro. You don't even trust your people. You don't trust the player you got. You making them players feel like they not worth playing. So I'm sure they got second-guessing themselves because the coach second-guessing them. But you got to realize, you got to do what you got to do when you got to do it. Forget the rest. But they listen to what he say. Like I said, when a lot of time the quarterbacks don't come off that field, they like, no, coach, I'm staying. We gonna go for it. And they go for it. You got to take initiative. If you ain't taking initiative when you get a job, I'm a registered medical assistant, but I'm working at my church daycare. I've been putting in applications, but when you got people out there trying to mess up your record and they thing with the stuff I went through when I went to Dallas, so I'm back home. But like I said, I ain't letting nobody stopping me. I'm still fighting to get my job. You can't give up on you. Dak didn't give up on himself, and people complain because he said he didn't put in time. He invest in himself. If you don't invest in yourself, who will, Law? If you don't believe in yourself, who will, Law?
My goodness, Jessica. Yes, indeed. I love it. I love it. I love it. Boy, she bring in some good heat, baby. Boy, she brought in some good heat right there. She always bringing in a lot of fire, a lot of thunder, a lot of passion, positive vibes only. That's the PVO queen. She always telling people, hey, look, stay focused on the next game. Try to claw and win this game against the Cincinnati Bengals. I know that right now is more favorable as it relates to the draft terminology of losing, but you do not want to develop that mentality. Boy, it goes a long way. We're going to bring the 202 in. 202, you're live.
No, I'm going to call back. I'm going to say this.
Mm-hmm.
I think that what the last caller said about our fan base let us down every season, I totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
I believe Jerry knows that, I don't have to take them to a Super Bowl every season because I know they still going to buy merchandise. They still going to buy tickets. They don't care. They pretend they care about winning, but they don't. The fan base really don't care. You know what I'm saying? It's like, they don't have to win a Super Bowl. No, well, y'all still going to make them all buy all the jerseys I want y'all to buy. Y'all still going to buy tickets. Y'all still going to buy hats. Y'all ain't going to stop. You know how the fans got to take a stand and say, you know what? I'm not going to buy merchandise till you win a Super Bowl. I'm not going to buy tickets until we go to the NFC Championship. And then the thing would change if Jerry comes out there and be like, oh yeah, I got a full stadium. No, you don't. You got 1 or 2, 3 people. What's going on with the fans? Oh, the fans say they ain't gonna take it no more. If we don't win, we ain't buying nothing. I'll tell you a story. This guy came up to me after the game to this day before I went to work. He came over with some cowboy mask, a hat, a scarf, and I was like, he's like, you want this? I know you're a Cowboy fan. I said, yeah. But they so disappointing, I'm not buying anything until they win a Super Bowl.
Wow.
And I say that because after a while, you get tired of disappointment. You can say, all right, the 8-8 season we had last year, okay, it was 8-8. Some people glorify when we got put out by the Packers. Okay. When we lost to the Rams, okay. But it's sad to be a fan of the team, and then every season it ends up with the same result. We get sent home. We home. We home. We home. It's never, all right, we here. No, we home. It's like every season is no progress afterwards. Like, say, all right, we make it to the NFC Championship, we lose. Progress after that is we go to the Super Bowl. It's never that with the Cowboys. Always we make it in the playoffs. We get put out. All right, we third place.
Right.
We was just first place. Now we third place. All right, we end up second place. Next season we first place. Next season another season we fourth place. Next season we first place. It's like there's never no consistency in the team wanting to be better. It's just like they cool with we cool with being first sometimes, second sometimes, third sometimes. And this season that's currently right now seems like it's an eye opener for us as fans to say, you know what, Jerry, we ain't gonna have it no more. If you don't get us a Super Bowl by next year, we gonna give you a cold shoulder on buying merchandise.
Let me say this right quick from the 202. Here's the situation. When this team is so powerful as it relates to marketing, right now was the first blow to Jerry Jones' pockets, moving the game from prime time to the common folks' time, right? And now he's looking at it like, damn, I made a mistake. But he's going to figure out how and what he's going to have to do to get back into that prime time slot. This is so pivotal because Cowboys 49ers, that was going to be a big ticket. That was going to be a big ticket item. Because think about all of the storylines that you can sell, right? So they move Cowboys out of that slot to put the Cleveland Browns and the New York Giants into that slot. So what happened here, inch by inch, most of the money by us not buying merch, that's only like peeing into the ocean saying that you're going to turn it yellow. It's not going to work that way because of the simple fact that most of the money is through the TV advertisement dollars. That's where you can hit Jerry at in the pockets. And, of course, you can talk about the tickets as it relates to going to the game. That's only peanuts. That money is the advertisement dollars. If the rates go down, that's where you can actually turn this thing around. But here's the problem, though. This team with Dak Prescott, we wouldn't have a losing season this year. We never had a losing season with Dak Prescott, to be honest, you know.
It seems like we'll have a season with him, and, like, the end result is still the same. Like, we always end up getting halfway and then sent home. Like, it's like, I ain't going to stay there. They kind of stuck. It's kind of like we hear what's our next move. We nervous. We don't know. We never been here before. Let's go ahead and lose. All right, we lose. Next season, all right, next, like, it sucks to say that our fan base has been so comfortable with saying, all right, maybe next season.
Yeah.
Maybe next season. And that's bad because there's no, all right, we're going to do it this season. No kind of that. It's like, we failed in 2020. All right, 2021 is our season. All right, we failed 2021. All right, 2022. Why are we so comfortable with saying? Why are we so comfortable with that? And it's like, I see so many fans that say, "Oh, let's look to the draft for answers." It's the sad thing that every time we say look to the draft for answers, Jerry has from the time this season, from the time the prior season ends to the time the season starts. The new season starts to fix all the problems that he had the following season, but he doesn't. He just let it lay over to the following season. Then the same problem comes. Oh, let's look to the draft.
Well, let me tell you this though. From the 202, why does the pimp always have multiple, ladies? Right? I was gonna say the other word. I don't want to, Why does the pimp always have that? A pimpology 101 is as soon as she starts slipping, you throw her a little something. And before you even get her to buy into what you're selling and what you want her to do, you give her a lot. And what happened here is the Cowboys push out a lot of content because I loved the team before Jerry Jones bought the team. So we naturally are drawn to the star. We naturally supporting the star. We naturally love this team. The one area that you can always sell every year is optimism, especially as it relates to the draft. The draft, see, everybody have a draft show. Everybody would be talking about the draft because there's no win or loss record with the draft. The draft is 3 years stretched out when you're picking up a player. So when you look into the draft and you can sully and denigrate the free agent players, because 9 times out of 10, when you talk about free agent players, you see the teams that will overpay, the greedy teams that will actually give out those lavish contracts. So they don't do that. They don't give out big lavish contracts to the free agency, but they sell and they push the draft. Remember, they sold Taco. They had Taco shirts for selling off the racks, Taco Tuesdays and everything. They sold that to all of the fans, and people were still buying. And Taco will make a play. They'll play the little horn, and they would do all of those things. They gonna sell this draft. Whoever we get with our first pick, they're gonna sell the hell out of it, and everybody's gonna be there saying, "Oh, look what the Cowboys got now! The top team in the NFL. They're gonna go to the Super Bowl for 2021." But see, 2015, they sold us all because that was supposed to be the year that year. Remember?
Mm-hmm.
So we can't get around the master salesman, because at the end of the day, that's what he do best.
Do you think it would have been better if we would have got Earl Thomas?
Oh yeah.
Like a healthy Dak Prescott on the offense and Earl Thomas on the defense.
Oh yeah.
I mean, because it's kind of strange that Earl Thomas was wanting us to get him. We didn't get him. Look at our defense. Dak went down. Look at our offense. And it's like, damn, we could have probably been, if the picture probably would have been way more better if we would have just took that and went after him instead of listening to what everybody was saying, don't get him. He caused this problem. But see, the thing about it is, I don't think Earl Thomas was the problem. I just think that, when you're passionate about something, people would say, "Oh, his attitude is not because he's passionate about what he's doing. He cares about, it's not about, oh, let me get a $15, let me get a $20 more and show him. No, I'm about passionate about winning. That's why I think that's not what Jerry Jones wanted the glamour and the glitz and all that on him, and not let my team finally profit and show everybody we can still make a Super Bowl. Because if you think about it, we lost to the Steelers. That's the same Super Bowl. That's the same team we beat in the last Super Bowl we went to.
Yeah. Man, you're a good caller, man. I really appreciate you so much for calling in, bro. You are.
No problem.
No doubt, man. But we'll talk about it a little bit more, man.
All right.
Appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you. Give you a little war chat right here, man. Good caller, man. Good caller.
No problem.
Yes, indeed, man. Good caller from the 202, man. Got a lot of resources there and a lot of good points, man, he put out there and echoed to the world. It's one of those things, man, when we start talking about the Joneses, it's a deep hole. It's a real deep hole. It would take me 10 hours to talk all about the things that could go on as it relates to the general manager, as it relates to managing. For those who, like in the chat right now, if you ever been a general manager, boy, let me know. And you can put out a lot of good stuff about information, man. We got another caller from the 202. It could be the same guy, Let's see what he got. Who? 202, you live. You live.
So I'm going to call back, man.
Call back in, man. Triple time for your mind. Hey, three-peat, right? Go ahead. Talk to me.
Hey, look, man. So with the Jerry Jones thing, man, I remember back in 2015. No, it wasn't 2015. The 8-8 season.
Mm-hmm.
and Jerry Jones said we might have went 8-8, but we still the richest team in the NFL. He said that on ESPN, and that blew the heck out of me, man.
Oh, you got to find me that link then. So he called. When did he do this? When he said that?
We had an 8-8 season. And he was like, we might have went 8-8, but we still the most lucrative team in the NFL. I was like, huh? Are you serious? And then I believe I heard it on your show this year. And matter of fact, last week in reference to the Steelers loss, when we went for that fake punt on what was it, 4th and 6 inside on hour 24.
Oh, 4th and 10, yeah.
4th and 10. He said that was an inspirational play. How in the hell is that inspirational? That's common sense. That's not using common sense. So Jerry all about them dollars, man, but he got to understand, if we win games, that's going to bring in the money. That's going to make people want to pay for the merchandise. He'll get the TV deals. He'll get the night games. Because that year we went 11-1. I believe we played like 4 or 5 night games back to back.
Well, you know, all of these primetime games, you spitting the truth over here. You know, the reality shows are always number one, right? You know, the Desperate Housewives of Atlanta, Love and Hip Hop, you know, is crazy stuff of putting out crazy things to the ladies, right? It paints a wrong negative connotation. But that is what sells, right? If they going out there and showing support and developing businesses and doing good things in the community, not saying that they're not, but if it didn't have the drama, nobody would tune in. Cowboys is big drama ticket. And that's why Jerry Jones realized, hey, I'm a bookie. You know, we grew up loving the team. This is the only team that I love, right? Jerry Jones didn't grow up loving the Cowboys. He didn't grow up saying that, okay, I want to be a Cowboys fan. He bought the team. See, he got financial interest in this team. We got nothing but love and emotion interest in this team. We don't care about the money part of it, but they care about the dollars.
You're absolutely right. You're absolutely right. And in reference to our offense, man, Dak was our dog. I'm shocked at Ezekiel Elliott. I still think he got the dog in him.
Yeah, dog. Hey, call back, bro. Call back to time up, though. Good call, man, for the 202, man. Good call from him. Call back in, because I know he got some fire that he wants to spit in, man, but I know some other people were trying to call in as well. He might get the lucky number and call right back in again, 682-214-4087. All right, so we got the 615. 615, you're live. Talk to me.
Law Nation, this is Thomas Garrett. What's up, dude? I'm calling you from Nashville, Tennessee.
Tennessee in the house, man. Talk to me, fam.
Yeah, man. You know, me and some of my boys, we were talking, and you know, I finally came to the decision about one thing. You know, I told him, I said, "Hey, man, look, because I'm out of all my boys, I'm probably the only true Cowboy fan."
Mm-hmm.
I told him, I said, man, I finally come to the decision on this. And I told him, I said, man, we're not going to really start winning until we finally get a true football man in the front office. You know, I hate to say it, but Jared, he's going to have to drop a title somewhere. He's going to have to drop one of them titles. He's going to have to, Law.
He's hoarding, man. He want them all. Like, I'm precious.
You know, I know Jerry. He's very prideful. And, you know, and you spoke on it earlier. He's very prideful, and he ain't gonna give up on his titles. But he claimed that he want to sit another Super Bowl before he died. He gonna have to give up. He gonna have to give up something.
You know what? And I'm going to pause the clock for you on this one. He made a statement, said there's not an amount of money that I will write out a check to win another Super Bowl. And he lied every time he says that. Want to know why? There's no salary cap as it relates to hiring your coaching staff, your staff in general, your scouting department. He should have, if it's common to have one scout in the area, he should have 15 of them.
And
right?
You know what? And this just popped through my mind just right before I called you.
Mm-hmm.
There's one good general manager that's out there that's unemployed. That is Thomas Dimitroff.
Yeah.
Had nobody mentioned his name.
Yeah.
He just got fired from the Atlanta Falcons this year. He led him to a Super Bowl, and if you remember, before he even took the Atlanta job, he won 3 Super Bowl rings with the New England Patriots.
Okay.
A lot of people don't know that. A lot of people don't know.
I didn't know that. You educating me.
Thomas Dimitroff got some he got some hardware, man.
And one can argue it wasn't because of players. It was coaching over there. They got players. but it's some of the similar things that we got. But go ahead.
You know, and if I'm Jerry, I'm going to be like, Thomas Dimitroff, he won some rings in Boston with New England, and, you know, he got a conference championship ring with Atlanta. He took him to a Super Bowl. I may need to kind of give him a phone call and see what's up with him, see if he may want to, you know, do a little something down here in Arlington.
Let me pause the clock right quick for you. Here's the situation with this. There's this book called 48 Laws of Power. There's 48 of them. And one of the laws, it says, you should never outshine your master. And the thing is, and it's pretty much the person that's in charge. The thing is with that, is that with Jerry, in order for Jerry to get something accomplished, it got to make it seem as if though he thought of it first. That's the only way. It got to be like his decision. Because I think that without a shadow of a doubt, his success was his failure. By him winning the Super Bowl without Jimmy Johnson, kind of like, hey, these are the things I've done. And then somebody tapped him on the shoulder and say, hey, dog. Hey, what you talking about? Hey, dog, that wasn't you. That was still Jimmy Johnson people. He said, oh, no. And then, and they circumvented director of player personnel decisions and all of that stuff. He made sure that nobody else have that alleyway and that angle to get into there. Because Jerry know that he can't be that too. He can't have that hat. So what happened is that the moment Jimmy Johnson got released of his duties, or, you know, whatever you want to say, well, he walked away freely. But the moment he left, the issue is that Jerry said, I would never give another coach that type of power over player personnel and decisions. Son, John Stephen Jones, I got an opening. You can have that titling. But go ahead, Thomas.
Yeah, and you know, he's Jerry's gonna have to do something if he, you know, if he want to experience that first Sunday in February again, he's gonna have to do something. But like I said, he ain't gonna do that. He ain't gonna do that long.
We just have to sit back and wait now, man. They gonna sell it. They gonna sell. Look, off season, man. Don't you know how many people gonna be tuning into this this playoff? Not playoff, but a draft talk. Ooh,
yeah, man. It's gonna be drama.
Yeah, drama for your mama.
Yep.
Appreciate you, Thomas.
All right,
good call from you, bro. Good call from the 615, man. Thomas held it down from Tennessee. He held it down from the 615, man. 682-214-4087. I'm going to try to go all the way into the top of the hour so we can get some more calls in and we can get this thing going. Let's go. 682 214-4087 is pinned at the top of the page on my YouTube page. And as well as that's a text number. You can always text me. If you have anything that's going on in life, text me, man. I'll try to see if I can respond, and we'll see what we got from here. 205. Let me pull the 205 audio up again, man. Give me a few seconds, 205. Give me a few seconds. We got the 205.
What's up, Lord?
What's going on? What's going on?
What's happening, man?
Oh, my goodness, man. The sun and the moon, man, is rotating.
Man, it's good to hear from you, Lord. It's a blessing every time I call into the show. I want to say I love my cowboy brothers and sisters. I'm going to keep it simple and sweet tonight because I'm working on some more Uncle Charles story time. But I'm going to keep this simple and sweet tonight. Here's a man like Jerry Jones. Is a billionaire, can buy whatever he wants. And then I start to think, if you're a billionaire and you can buy whatever you want, how come you can't buy a soul? How can you, it show me what grocery store you can go in right now, like Piggly Wiggly or Food World. Excuse me, ma'am, do you have 5 souls on the shelf?
Right.
They ain't gonna tell you that because there ain't no souls in there on the shelf. Okay, let me tell you something, man. Jerry Jones is an egomaniac. And I don't mean to say that in a bad way.
Right.
But he's an egomaniac. You know, in a similar way, it was the difference between him and my father. My father was a hard-working man, foundry man. You know, I want to let the world know that my brother served in the Navy for 24 years. He retired. My youngest brother is an ordained minister. And I was a foundry worker. So we was all contributing to society. But between my dad and Jerry Jones, let me tell you something about an old man. When an old man sitting this way, you can't tell him nothing. Now here I am as a little kid. I need some shoes to go to school. And my dad said, well, I ain't got no money. And he said, well, I said, Dad, I need some shoes because, you know, I've been filling my shoes in with newspaper. Man went in the store and said, man, what a newspaper is? I ain't want to stand there because I had them in my shoes. So I didn't want to stand there. And he said, well, come on, I'm going to take you and get you some shoes. We're going to go by the grocery store. I said, yeah, we're going to get me some shoes. And he reached right up on that rack and got me some 89,000. Now, I didn't know what they were until I got to school. I want to know this from the public, from the Cowboy Nation. How can somebody laugh at you all day long? Because they did me. They laughed at me all day. And then I went home and told my mom, I said, Mom, I can't wear these shoes. They lighten up on the side at night. And then people calling me a professional skill and all this. I said, I can't wear these, Mama. People picking on me and stuff. She said, don't worry about it, baby. I'll talk to your daddy. She said, she called my daddy Charles. She said, Charles, he needs some more shoes. They're laughing and picking at him, and they're picking at him. He said, well, I ain't got no more money. He said, okay. You ain't got no more money? Then it ain't no more candy in the candy shop. And for 3 weeks, my daddy held on. And all of a sudden, he took me to a name brand store and got me some Adidas. See, when the candy shop gets shut down, everything gets shut down. See, we need to complain as a Cowboy family and tell Jerry Jones, we're calling you to the table right now. How about if you love us, Jerry, Mr. Jones, if you love your fans like you say you is, how come you ain't held a press conference and said, I'm sorry about the way the team is playing this year. I want to tell the Cowboy Nation that I apologize, but we will do everything in our power to make sure this never happens again. But no, he's just like that brother that wouldn't help his other brother, was a millionaire, and this brother had all the money, and he died. And the brother that didn't have no money went up in the house and put on his suit and drove his car to his brother's funeral. That's the way it goes. When you're trying to not do the right thing, it never works. And I want to tell the Cowboy Nation, I love every one of y'all. And Uncle Charles going to be coming out with a new story time, a station near you, whether it's Law or Vouch. Be ready. And I love you, Law.
Appreciate you. Love you too, Unc, man. Appreciate you, man.
Yes,
good
sir.
stuff, man. Good stuff from Uncle Charles. Yeah, good call from him, man. Good call. Yeah, he's remarkable for the last caller of the day, man. It's one of those things where you get a wealth of information, wealth of knowledge, And he's not going to make the excuses, right? I mean, Jerry is not going to not going to make the apology, I meant to say. He's going to make the excuses, but he's not going to make the apology. In his mind, he's doing everything right. Everybody else is lying. I'm doing what's right. I'm the billionaire. You know, I had me go and dig up that other video that I did where he said, I control everything from the socks to the jocks of the team, right? The color of the Gatorade or Powerade, right? I went against the NFL and said, y'all want Coke? I'm bringing Pepsi in with my own deal. Oh, I'm going to bring in Nike. If it wasn't for Jerry Jones, we would have still been having Rydell. Y'all remember Rydell? And Reebok's cool, but Rydell, y'all remember Rydell and them? They was using Rydell equipment. Jerry said, no, I want Nike. When he got his Hall of Fame speech, he had Nike gold shoes on, right? That's Jerry. He sued the NFL and ultimately won. Guess what happened? Guess what year that happened? Y'all put it in the chat box. We haven't won anything since then. You think that why we don't get extra calls and stuff like that? For you to show up and be disrespectful to the league and say I'm rogue, I'm going to stand on my own horse and say that these are the things I'm done. I'm a maverick. I'm not going to confine and bend to the rules. That's Jerry. He's brilliant. We would never get favorable calls. Why? He went after Roger Goodell's money. Cardinal rule. You know, remember I was talking about 48 laws of power? You don't show up the guy that runs and operates the league, although the owners pays him. Roger Goodell made $45 million. That was 2 years ago, a year. I know it's north of that number. He had full health benefits and the players didn't. And you try to come for his money and you don't think that he have hidden agendas? When they got a call, when they do the play review to New York, and that's right at his house. Shout out to Cowboys P. Boy, we spitting some old good stuff to you guys now. Thomas Garrett said, yeah, the Rydell is that old school stuff. Marketing deals. Look, I'm going to say this again. We living in purgatory, neither heaven nor hell with the Joneses. They live in lavish. They got a yacht since this situation since 95. Had a $3.5 billion stadium build. Oh, let me top it off with a $2.8 billion workout facility. Oh, and within the same time frame from 25 years to now, somebody got into the Hall of Fame. And little old Law Nation over here in my house, in my man cave, is complaining about Jerry. You think he's going to listen to us? You know? You think he's going to listen to us fans? Petty little, the petty little fans, you know, they're talking about me. I'm rich. I'm wealthy. My grandsons, my great-grandsons, before they born, got more money than this brother can even count. I'm rich. They can't take my money. I got all of the pride over here. Nebuchadnezzar stood upon the providence and looked out and said, hey, this is what I've owned. This is me. This is what I conquered. Then God Almighty struck him down and turned him to a beast with wild fangs and hair all over his body. He had to run off into the wilderness. They ain't coming for Jerry because we still give him what he want. The attention. One thing we all adore. Remember that? Something worth dying for. We're stuck in this game. We're searching for fortune and fame. He got all of that stuff. He got it all, socks and drawers, Jerry Wayne Jones, and is still making more money. Last year, he bought an energy company. Billions of dollars. I need to shut up before they shut off my lights over here. Y'all, a bookie doesn't care who wins or loses. He's making the money regardless. I can always sit there and say, yeah, they care. but there's no salary cap as it relates to coaching staff. Let me know if I'm wrong. We can try to boycott, but we stuck on this thing. We're fiending. I can't leave you alone. You got me fiending. We fiending for this stuff. I bleed silver and blue. I wake up first thing in the morning. I pray to God. I thank him for a breath in my body. Thank God that he woke me up. But I'm tuning in to the Cowboys Network. All of them. Twitter. DallasCowboys.com. My own page. Checking out all of the news. I can't get enough of this stuff. I know many of people are doing the same thing. I know y'all are. Gilligan Allen, that's what Paul's saying. Yeah, we stuck. Look, it's hard for us to change our love affair for the team because somebody else bought the team. We supposed to change our allegiance to this team because somebody else is in control. It's hard. Look, they going to win this weekend. They're going to beat the Cincinnati. We back on that gravy train, right? We back with our same refill, right? And all we did is just still going down. It's hard. Allah said he's the same way. Yeah. Ali, yeah. Yeah, he said he's the same way. Williams, yeah. Tex Ram, it was fun during Tex Ram. See, Tex Ram was about that money action, but he knew that, hey, man, I can't do it all. Let me put some people in place. Jerry said, I can do it all. And like I said, he's going to play it off and say, hey, if somebody were to pull him to the side and said, yeah, man, that was you. That was you in 95. That was you. And nobody wrote those articles saying that, dog, it was still Jimmy people. He would never saw it in that light. Dallas not beating Cincinnati, Law. George, it just seems as though they might go over there and beat Cincinnati. If we're back in the same situation, they may go over here in the draft and draft Sewell and not even look at the defensive side of the ball in the draft. I kid you not. We can look at Bradley Anai, and you can type in Bradley Anai on YouTube. You will probably find more views for Bradley Anai than anybody else within his draft class. He can't see the field. We can type in and use the same name under Reggie Robinson. And we don't know that the brother can even see because he can't see the field. They brought in a guy off the streets with the same last name, Rashard Robinson, getting burnt. And Reggie can't see the field. Reggie, where's Reggie? Doo-doo-doo-doo, Reggie. Loving you is easy 'cause you're beautiful. Doo-doo-doo-doo. We don't even know where Reggie is at. Think about that. Look up all of the people that do draft talk. Look it up. I kid you not. They had Reggie, the savior of one of the nicest picks out there. Can't see him. That's what the draft do. Who's going to be Reggie 2.0 next year for 2021? Who's going to be the next Bradley Anai? This is what they do. Cowboys will sell it and we buy it. Let me get the 3 for 1. Oh, no. I'm going to buy it in bulk. Let me know where I'm lying and I'll hush. I'll flat up hush. But we don't. The Dallas Cowboys, they sell optimism every year. And guess who first in line? Law Nation. Thank you for tuning in to the Law Nation Film Session. Y'all think I'm up late at night talking about the Cowboys because I hate them? No. I love this team. Oh, my goodness, Cowboy Nation. All right. Reggie, I found him. He's in the trash. Noah. Luke Gifford. Paul, boy, you speaking truth over there. Luke Gifford. Kate Cedarfield. I can see it right now. Micah Parsons drafted by the Dallas Cowboys. Won't see the field. Why? We're going to have to start playing Michael Jackson. Why? Why? Tell them that is human nature. Oh, why you won't see him? Because they got Jalen. Oh, because they got LVE. Won't see the field. He's the cornerstone. And I'm not trying to hate on LVE. But y'all know how it goes. They will refuse to fall on the sword. They're not going to sit there and bench LVE and Jalen Smith. Why y'all ain't playing Michael Parsons? He's a beast. We got Jalen. I kid you not. If we had the same situations this year, it's just what it is. Gracia says Jerry Jones. Shout out to Sally Lawyer too as well, man. Appreciate you for dropping the $20 in the PayPal. I really appreciate you for helping me out. Elevate the nation. We're gonna do some more things here. Yeah, we're gonna develop this thing all the way. It's gonna be crazy. When I make it, I'll remember all of y'all names. We're gonna keep the same flow. Keep everything up here. Let me see. It was one that I wanted to read. Man, he playing like LVE. Yeah, they should play the rookies to see what they could do. This is from Noah. Yeah. And shout out to my dog, Jay Form, man. Always holding it down. Kellen Moore gonna be the coach. Will be the coach in college. The Dak will be the New England or Indy. Oh, okay, Jay Form. You saying so Kellen Moore is gonna get a job in college land, and Dak Prescott is either going to go to New England or Indiana. I can see that. Indianapolis, Montana 808. Appreciate you, dog. He said Micah Parsons is the two-legged Jalen. Yeah. I mean, his tape is pretty good, Coverage ability, you kind of wonder a little bit, but he's pretty good. That boy good. Yeah. Rookies should definitely be playing right now. This is from Jay. Yeah. All right. Let me see. Read a few more of your comments here, man. Shout out to everybody that's on Twitter, Twitch, as well as the Facebook groove. I don't see y'all commenting from Facebook, but I know y'all here. I can see that some of the people are watching from Facebook. Appreciate you, though. On the Facebook, all of the Facebook followers, I really appreciate you all. Dak is a home run type of guy, right? My thing is, we as fans, it's like the Great Divide ice cream. Good ice cream, by the way. Split right down the middle. You got some that love Dak Prescott, and you got some that hate Dak Prescott. You got some that will say, I think earlier in the interview today when Stephen Jones speaking out of the side of his neck, saying that got to be mindful of the quarterback salary and how much of the pie. You don't want to give him all of the pie and these sorts of things because it can go against the cap and these sorts, right? Not knowing that you can prorate it, you can do a whole bunch of plethora of other things, but people do what they want to do. People do what they want to do. And when you start talking about money, La'el Collins wasn't begging for the money. La'el Collins didn't know that he was going to get paid his coins. People do what they want to do. Jalen Smith wasn't looking for the money, saying, hey, I declare and decree that I get paid. That's money that you just threw at those two players because you wanted to. And you going back and forth over a year with Dak Prescott. You can fool a lot of people, but you can't fool a financial guy like me. I know the money. But the small-minded feeble people would say, nah, he's right. They made some adjustments just this year long. And when I was talking about the money, you could have cut Tyrone Crawford last year and saved $10 million. Let me know if I'm lying. I just mentioned the way where you could have signed, and I think I did a video on that. The money was there to sign Byron Jones, to also sign Dak Prescott, and also sign Jalen Smith if you wanted to, and as well as Elijah Collins. The money was there. You could have finagled that thing like they did at the end. You saw how they spread some money around for Zach Martin and stuff. Oh, you do what you want to do. Think about it. People can be in a football game where it's 40 degrees. Matter of fact, 5 degrees, cheering and yelling, yeah, go team, go team. But if they don't want to stand outside catch the bus, hey, man, it's too cold out there. Nah, dog, I ain't finna go out there. Nah, dog, it's too cold. People do what they want to do. But people gonna always look at it like, if you sign Dak Prescott, we'll be out of the money. Newsflash, you were more out of the money by signing Dak Prescott to this 1 year's let's see deal than any other time. Why, Law? Why? Tell him that is human nature. I can't hit the other note that Michael Jackson sing. Oh, however you hit the other note, y'all hit that note for me in your house somewhere. Tell him that is human nature, right? Well, it could have happened this way. I think it count against the cap. You can't adjust this money. It was $31 million. Well, you signed a man for a 1 year deal for $31 million because you're squabbling and fighting over this 1 little year. We can't get that money back. It is what it is. Shout out to you, Paul. Shout out to you, Perry. Really appreciate you all. Zeke should have still been on his rookie deal. Yes. That's one of the leverage that you have out of signing people in the first round. The 5 years contract. 5-year contract. That's why you sign people in the first round, to have that longitude and latitude to extend that 5 year. You really got them in your mercy seat because you really technically got them for 6. Huh? You got him for 6 because it's really a rookie year's deal. You got him for 5 years, right? Then you can really slap him across the face with that franchise tag. I was everywhere with that word, right? Yeah, I was going to say an F word. And I caught myself, right? I try not to cuss over here. I got the kids watching. or rewind, leverage. And he was suspended for 6 games. And this is not me pointing the gun at Ezekiel, because y'all know I love Ezekiel. I love what he brings to the table. He changed so much onto the game. But Jay Form know right now. Jay Form know exactly. Oh, Jay Form got some good stuff over here. What you got over here? What you got over the cap? He sent me the link. Look at that. J Form always on it, man. Look at him, always on it. And, he paid Amari Cooper. And look, believe it or not, people talk about Amari Cooper, and he's the true cornerstone. The stone that was rejected becomes the centerpiece of the offense, becomes the cornerstone. Everybody looking at Amari Cooper. Amari Cooper is one of the realest right now. He turned down Washington money. Close your eyes. You see how good Washington playing now? Can you imagine Scary Terry and Amari Cooper and that Sims guy? He turned his love and adulation for the star. Was like, no, I would take less money to play here. So many people was ready to get rid of him. All right, so total cap liabilities is 190 mil. I don't know if you guys can see. Probably had to switch eyes. Top is 51. Top 51, 158. 50 mil, 158 mil. Okay. Team cap space is 26 million. I'm gonna just round it up to 27 million right here. Let's see. And this is 2020. You got 27 million. And I go back to this right here. Shout out to you again, Jay Form, for putting this information over here. I can go back and say this again, Cowboy Nation. When we had the opportunity and we had the chances and we had the ability to get the Honey Badger. Oh, we like our guys. We okay. We don't need the Honey Badger. Oh, we don't need him. We don't need him. No. We don't need the Honey Badger. Oh, we don't. We like our guys. The Honey Badger retweeted the guy and posted his information in. This was during the time Ben and Skin was on 105.3 The Fan. And the Honey Badger said, even with my broke knees, I'm better than any and every DB you got on the Dallas Cowboys team. Because my insider, I got a little insider, you know, he wanted to come to Dallas. He wanted to come to Dallas. And Dallas said, nah, that was the year we went on to a cruise and went to the Bahamas. They went to somewhere, I think to Tahiti, whatever they went to. Cabo, I believe, again. Y'all remember that? The first week of free agency. The Honey Badger went on a dirt cheap deal. He went on a dirt cheap deal to the Texans. Balled out that year. Then when he was a free agent again, Texans like, hey, you gonna come back? He said, nah, I'm finna go to Kansas City. I'm finna give me a ring. Let me know if I was lying. Let me see. Somebody said shot fired. Yeah. That's the Honey Badger. That's front office. Jay Form said, click on 2021. Let's see. We'll have 28 million in cap space. It appears from here. It is very the view of it is so hard for me to read. But hey, Amari will be cap hit of 20 mil. Ezekiel at 9.6 mil. But his bonus, I think you got to add the bonuses in on that. So Amari Cooper will be 22, and this guy will be north of like 13, maybe and a half. So you might as well add that. So he can be right at 14 million. That's how much Ezekiel Elliott will cost. You know. Oh my goodness, the markets will cost a lot of coins. Oh my goodness, that bonus, that 8 million. That boy getting paid. But yeah, this is the cap space. And we breaking it down. Oh, I love Over the Cap. You see that, Cowboy Nation? Y'all check them out, man. Nonprofit business, overthecap.com. My thing is, they break it down. 100, I'm going to say like my granddaddy said, 101 million is on the offensive side of the ball. 59 million, collectively speaking, is on the defensive side for the 2021. And 6 mil is to the specials, you know, however they calculate that number there. And on top of that, Cowboy Nation, when we think about this, when we look at the money, oh my goodness. If you go out there and do the Jimmy Johnson thing, like he was saying, like go pay Dak Prescott his coins and then jump back in, and with the first pick, you put a quarterback in that situation. Yes, you will have the quarterback for 5 years, but that's 5 and 5. 4 years, really, but 5 years, you guys get what I'm saying, right? I think Burrow's got what? 40 million. His breakdown is a lot of money. All right, Cowboy Nation, that's all the time that I have for this moment. I really appreciate you. Shout out to you, man. Everybody that stood tall and stand firm with me, man. This will be on multiple channels, also on Amazon TV. I really appreciate those people that follow me on Amazon TV. I'm there, as well as Roku TV. Check out this episode on those other platforms as well. Hey, you can pull it up on your big screen. You can be like, look, Mama, Pookie, Ray Ray, Ashaniqua, Tamika. I'm on TV, baby, you know. Pull it up on your big screen on Amazon TV, as well as hit me up on Instagram. DM me, man, for any thoughts throughout the day. And for those who make the drawings, I do have another cover. that I'm going to give away. And I know for sure that Jay Macias, he won, but he never hit me back up. So you got a week. Then we have to do the redrawing, pulling up the wheel, and we'll spin that thing, and we will mail you out the blanket. I know that a lot of people probably don't want Cowboys merch, but you can look at it like, hey, you didn't buy it. It was given to you, right? So those who made the donation to help elevate the nation, your name will be entered into the drawings, and we will be doing another drawing of said, merch, what have you. Cowboy Nation, let's continue to grind and shine. That's all the time that I have for this beautiful moment. And remember, you're listening to nothing but the best. Where's my outro music? How can I be so disrespectful, huh? Here we go. Let me go cool with it. It's too late for me to get too rowdy. Let me just go with the cool groove. It's okay with you all, right? Let's go with the cool groove. Let's go. Yeah. Come on. Yeah. Yeah. Shoot them haters down. Great chat. Yes, crazy. Corvette. Yeah. All right. Let's continue to grind, Cowboy Nation. Where my fire is? I gotta have some fire. Come on. Let me see some fire emojis in the chat, man. Let's go. Take it easy. Take it easy. Take it easy. They say ain't no party like a Cowboy party, 'cause a Cowboy party don't stop. Yeah, I see it now, baby. Yeah, I see the fire. Something to live by. When the end comes for me, let it find me conquering a new mountain, not sliding down an old one. Remember at the start of the show about 10 hours ago, those who failed to plan to fail. Ain't this right, Joe? Oh, King, I appreciate you. Just hit that rewind button. Also, it's better to be prepared for an opportunity and not have one than to have the opportunity and not be prepared. Let that sink in. We out. Yeah. We out, baby.